Back. It was 48 hours. So my friends who also got this virus, it's been 5 days. One of my friends is going on 6 days. I'm 48 hours. And guess what? When I spoke to you in my last video, that was yesterday. Look at me today. Boom. Are you ready for this? We're going to talk about the law of creation. It is the law of one. We're bypassing the law of attraction. It doesn't actually count anymore. It's the old way of thinking, the old way of manifesting, because it is a separate way, a separate technique, and that just doesn't even exist. We have accelerated now to a completely new level. We're going into 5D. What does that mean? We're tapping into the actual creation powers that you hold. I promised you I would show you how to manifest in a completely new way of getting massive downloads right now. So I've got a whole list I'll read to you of what we're going to be doing, including the predictions of The Simpsons. That's mind-blowing. That's going to be coming up. And the temptations of the spiritual community and everybody else out there. I'm going to talk about all these amazing things. But today, you're going to learn how to create in a way you never thought possible. Yeah, let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube. Here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. I'm back home. If you don't know, I went on a cruise. I really am not a cruise person. But Landria 4.0, I went through some major changes. You may be right now. We're going to talk about that. This is all purposeful. It's all good, including what's happening with our country here in the United States, with the world. It's all good because everything that existed in its form that we thought was how things should be are being shattered. Everything's being shattered. And you could say it's bad. It is not bad, because anything that breaks up the programming that keeps people in comfort, right? And we talk about the Matrix, right? If you've ever seen the Matrix, everybody was comfortable. People, the blue pill, the red pill, let's just stay here in my illusion that makes me comfortable and go to work and, have my steak and whatever. And that's how we've been functioning, and most people don't want to leave that. They have an attachment to that. That is going to keep you back from going into a massive space where everything you've ever imagined and wanted is there, but for a different reason. It's going to be on a level that is so massively beautiful, expansive, inclusive. All right, so I'm Landria, Onkka, and welcome to my channel, where we're breaking through fears. Are you ready to do that? Because fear holds you back, and it's a story. When you feel fear, or especially anger, I see anger from people. I'm like, why are you getting upset? I don't know. I don't deal well with anger. It doesn't compute for me. Anger comes from a story that there's something wrong, or that somebody's doing something wrong. Are you doing that? When people make comments on my channel, I was just saying, it's just so, it can be disheartening. It's not disheartening for me. It's just, sad. It makes me sad that people are in that space where they want to strike out at other people. Are you doing that? That is a story here that says, I'm angry because things aren't the way I want it to be. Well, let's change that today. I hope you'll subscribe. I'm hoping I'll hit that million, subscribers or views. Let's get there. Let's get to the point where we're answering all of your questions. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to share with you the many subjects we're going to tackle. Today, we're going to throw out the law of attraction. It's a load of hooey. It was the first starting point. It was amazing when finally, actually over it's like 50 years, almost, I can't remember how long, it's well over 50, almost like 100 years. They started to, people started to realize, teachers, spiritual teachers, other people, realized that there was a correlation between what I'm thinking and what's showing up. Why is it showing up sometimes and not other times? And it was like too much of a coincidence, and they called it the law of attraction. It was actually where, before we knew what quantum physics was. Big whoop! It's quantum physics. It's nothing mystery, but now we know that we are beyond just, oh, a thought. A thought is actually, it's actually wave, particle, right? Everything turns into something upon it, the focus that you place on it. That's how important you are. Observers in experiments change the results of the experiments through observation and their beliefs. Not just looking at it, it's the beliefs behind it. That is one thing. Creation, we're going to talk about today. All right, so I'm going to talk, I have an upcoming video on the Simpsons predictions. How are they doing it? I'm going to review some of the predictions. Some of them are coming up, and they're going to be very interesting because how can they pull this off? I'm going to share with you how they're pulling it off. Is it a trick? No. We'll discuss that in an upcoming video. Evil cannot touch you. Okay? We're going to talk about that coming up. I'm telling you what's coming up because I want you to get excited because there's a lot to be excited about. Evil can't touch you. So all of these things that you're reading, the whatever, the reptilians, and what they're trying to have, can't touch you. If you're in a penthouse, they can't get up there. They're not on that level. It's really that simple. We're getting rid of the silly stories that we believed, the illusion, the limitations. It's all the game on this level. We are now going up here. We're done. We talked about disclosure. I'm going to talk more about that. What's disclosure? We're going away from the 3D level. The government's going to tell us what disclosure is. You mean the liars and the people that have hidden everything for centuries? We're still waiting for them to tell us? No, come on, peeps. You're my peeps. We are so over that. You know what disclosure is? What I'm going to share with you today, you're going into that space. You get the answers and you know things. You don't need somebody else to tell you. You are powerful. But you have to know that first. That's going to be the key today. We're going to talk about how you need to function moving forward in 2025 and beyond. It's going to be imperative. And it's a simpler life. I've already moved into it. This is not coincidence. I didn't think I was choosing it, but you're going to find it happening to you. Don't be afraid of it. But here's the thing. It has to be self-sufficient. You're going to love that conversation. And then we're going to talk about Trump coming up, temptation. Look at all these downloads I'm getting. I want to break those up into videos because you're going to love these. The temptations that are going to happen for everyone. We've already seen it happen to people like Bashar who hold this power and claim these things, and all of a sudden, oops, went into a different frequency, scared the crap out of people. Because they are an authority, we're done with the authorities. That's the other thing. We're looking to people that have the answers. They don't. They can only be guides for you. And as soon as they cross into a different frequency, they've just done, that's all they've done. They tuned into another station. It doesn't make it real. It makes that real. You get to tune into whatever station you want. So let's tune into the law of creation. What is the law? Law is one. I am that I am. That's the only law that exists. I am that I am. That means I'm everything and nothing. I am all things. I am all creation. I am the creator of all. That's the law. The law. Not of one. The law is the law of one. The law is all things. So when we say the law, it's not like, oh, here's a law and here's a law. There's just one. I am that I am. There's nothing else to discuss except for one thing, creation. Within this, I am everything. So you and I are one of those things that were created by, well, the power of whatever is out here that we call Source, God. You get to name it. I don't like to name it at all. I am it, you are it. It's really tough because we think of ourselves as separate entities, and we are in this illusion. It's all illusion. If it wasn't, we would be this through eternity, but we're not. We transform constantly. So we are a transformation of one energy into separate things at all times that is all connected. So it appears to be this when actually it's just one thing. That means all things are affecting one another at all times. It all exists in one. Now, if you've read my book, I hope you've read my book. We are one, and everything is one thing happening, not simultaneously. So you're thinking, well, this is happening, this happening, this happening all at the same time, all these realities. No, it's just one thing happening. It's all affecting everything. That thought affects the entire universe. Everybody in it, all creation, one. Your thought. Don't worry about World War III. It's not going to happen. That's another thing I've got. I've been telling you it's not going to happen. Well, a couple reasons why not. Because we are much greater than this. This is just one expression, which is pretty great. But there are so many different levels above us that are unending, by the way. It doesn't end. It's that expansive. We can't comprehend it. Don't try to. But I'm going to introduce to you today what you are and what you have access to in this human existence. And it's pretty darn powerful. So get very excited. All right, so my hair is drying. Everyone who wants access to things that are planet conscious, building a planet conscious business, we're going to have a big discussion about that. You got to take charge of your life. Quit putting yourself in the hands of others. You are the creator. That means everything. Never feel like you are at the mercy of a job, of a relationship, of a government. It's impossible. That's a story, because you always have free will within the story. So even though we agree to participate in the story, every decision within it is continually changing the matrix program. So the more of us who make higher decisions of love, compassion, welcoming all forms of diversity, because we are one light. All of these things that appear different, they're your test, my friend. You don't like somebody's sexual preference, how they look, the decisions they're making, their religion. Ooh, that's on you. That's separation. It's a low frequency. You can't manifest on the level I'm going to teach you if you don't go into that space of all inclusiveness and love. You are not in the high level of one. The law is all of these things. So how can it be wrong? You're calling source, the creator, wrong. Well, no, that's the creation making a different choice. No, that's the creator exploring a different choice. It's a tough one for some of you because you want to judge it. You've been told that's wrong, and that if you accept this weirdness, this person is, these decisions, even the sins somebody's, choosing, it's still their pathway. So I want you to understand this. When we go into this law of creation you're going to implement today, you have to go into the space of releasing the judgment. You cannot go into the space because the creator doesn't judge anything. So you have to go into the space of non-judgment in order to be in the power of the ultimate creation. So otherwise you're limiting yourself. So as soon as you say somebody is wrong, or, well, I love this, but murder isn't okay, nothing I tell you means that you have to approve or it's okay. It's just a choice and an experience. And so on the other side, when we go out of our bodies, when we go into the expansive space, which we can actually do now, when we go there, we realize these were just choices to experience things on some of the lowest frequencies, and everyone around it actually chose to participate. I know some of you, I would never choose this. Well, no, when you're on the other side, you're going, piece of cake. Oh, abusive parents, I will love them anyways. And then you come here and you go, what the heck? I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, you did. Because you're that powerful. You just forgot that this feels very real and that you're not connected to that because we're choosing unconsciousness. You chose an unconscious form of consciousness. You don't have all those answers. You wanted to know what it was like to be limited, to know loss, to know fear. You want to know what it's like to do all these things. Because now, right? What happens when it's sunny all the time? Well, here in Florida, when you finally have a cloudy day, everybody goes, ah! You know. And I say, well, guess what? Then when it's sunny again, we're going, oh. But if it was sunny all the time, we wouldn't even know what a rain or dark day was, right? You have to have the contrast to know what that is. That's all we're doing. But some of you, you're taking it way down. Still a choice not to be judged. If you can let the judgment go of others. By the way, he without sin cast the first stone. Hey, not me. I'm going to tell you what, we're all here learning. So no matter how high of a level and how much information you get, and believe me, when I ask for it, it just, blasts down. I get all this stuff, and I'm giving it to you. I'm still a human being like you, and so I still go through the motions of everything, and emotions. I just don't react to them like other people do. I recognize what they are, so you can step back. This is key to your manifestation. What do you want to create? You're manifesting 24/7. How do I manifest this? I said, you are manifesting. How do I manifest? You're manifesting right now you're manifesting. If you don't have what you want in your life, you're manifesting. I'll tell you what you're thinking. Tell me about your life. I'll tell you what you think and believe. That's it. There's nothing to attract. You're creating. You're creating that and that and that. How do I attract this? And then people will get mad at me when I won't let them into my internet training. They can't afford it. They're not committed financially or whatever. And by the way, it's a fraction of the price of other training system. I made it affordable. But if you are not equipped, you can't come in. So here's the whole point. This is why aliens won't come help us or save us. We haven't learned ourselves how to do it. So you have to get to the level to earn some of these things. And then you can go to the next one. I can't take people who have beliefs of lack or negativity or whatever. They have no chance of being successful. Your manifestation is your creation through your thoughts and beliefs. That's it. And it creates. It doesn't attract. Attraction means, and this is why that term has to go. It's done. We're done with it. It's law of creation now. The law is you're always creating. Everyone is. There's no magic to this. Well, I teach magic. I like to call it magic. But the truth is, you are magic 24/7. If you're not creating the things you love, then go into the magic space of the penthouse where you can let go of all those negative thoughts. Nobody's making you think those. Well, my parents, hello, what time is it? How many years ago was that? Or even yesterday? It's always now. Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. It's always now. And right now you are creating. How do I create what I love? Oh my gosh, they are trimming everything. Of course. Do you remember in my other condo? I'd get on here, they would start trimming everything. It's beautiful. I can't complain. So the biggest challenge is clearing out the thoughts, the beliefs, the programming. It's happening right now. So when we talk about Trump or, Elon Musk or Russia or anything, these are disruptors of a system that wasn't working. So you say, well, the new changes aren't good. No, they're opportunities. You don't have to be afraid of them. They're breaking up the programming and patterns and now making us realize there's no safe place. We're creating it. So how do we get past the limitations? First of all, get rid of, this is necessary. If you want to go into this space I'm teaching you today, get rid of law of attraction. It is a program, this actually works against you. It's a programming that says, I am this, and that is something different that I need to attract to me. You're not changing this. You don't realize that is this. when you change it, okay? Does that make sense? So I'm this, and that's all out there, and I want it to come to me, and it's not even looking at me because it's out here, and it doesn't connect to me vibrationally or belief-wise. But if I do this, we are now one. Does that make sense? Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I am that. I am. I am that I am. Now, here's another big stumbling block for some of you. You don't believe that you are the creator. I'll say a creator. Oh, it's blasphemous. Another programming. Who told you that? People that want to keep you down here, working hard, give your money to the church. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, religion, thank goodness, religion keeps people, families together. It can also be extremely damaging because it can box you in. If it boxes you in and says this is how things are, how can one religion be right and everybody's wrong? And you happen to be part of the one that's right. It's programming. And these guys think the same thing. Everyone's right. But when you limit yourself, you are limiting your ability to be the creator of things that you never imagined possible. So here's what we want to do today. You're going to love this. I want you to pick something, a situation. It could be a material thing. Yeah, you might have a tough time with that because you think, oh, well, a material thing. Oh, that's bad. You know, I can't do that. Or, yeah, you can. Come on with me. You can do it. Pick that thing and ask yourself what you want to change. And it could be something like, I want to release this anger. Somebody said, how can I love? I don't have any emotions. And I said, you actually do. The fact that you just said that tells me you have emotions. They're just on a low frequency. So my suggestion was start with something that inspires you. There will be something. Even if you go out and you love a flower, if you love roses and you smell roses, that's just one thing. A thought is huge. A nuclear blast is huge, and a thought is equally as effective, okay? Just one thought. So don't think you don't have power, because that thought and this thought and this thought and these things all create things. Because that thought now, right, connects. You become entangled with the other thought. So like I said, I don't attract anything. Your thought now entangles with the very thing you're thinking. So now you create that. So if my thought is down here and this is out here, I want to attract, it's not a connection. So you got all these chaotic things going on here. They're not actually chaos at all. There's even chaos is organized. But all these things going on here, but it's not what you desire, right? So what we want to do is we want to imagine this situation and say, okay, it doesn't have to be something big. It could be just a little thing that'll help me get to the next thing. If that's what helps you, if you don't want to go big, you think big, it doesn't matter. A castle or a button, do you remember that one? Did we forget that? It's just as easy to create a castle as a button. That's the Bible, my friend. And I don't read the Bible. I don't like the whole religious thing or the interpretation of it. I just listen to this, and you can too. What is it? You have full disclosure. All the answers are here. We are not alone. They're here. There are different levels of them. The nasty ones can't touch us. Why? Because you have to. They want to influence you, of course. Just like, hey, listen, just like people in the government, they want to influence us. And think that you think they're all powerful. You have to believe it first. But if you believe it, it will be true for you. If you don't believe it, you're like, talk to the hand. Everything works that way. So there's no alien that can take over the planet. The higher ones are up here. They can't even touch us. They can't touch us. These high level protectors that we have here on the planet, they're here for us. So, is this sinking in? Now do you feel like, wait a second, there's no threat to me. I have to believe it. I have to be in fear. This is why my whole program is called Breakthrough. I have to be in fear because that's what allows it in. It's a low frequency. So as long as they keep us in fear, the messages, the channels that talk fear, that use the fear. So I use titles like, what they don't want is you to know about the final days, and then you watch the video and what they don't want you to know is you're all powerful and the final days are really important, and you need to create them on a super high level and live that purposeful life that you came here to live. Not in fear and shrinking back of what the world's going to do, but knowing I'm creating the world. You're creating the world. You guys underestimate that thought. Not just you. You're huge. The thought is huge. It starts with the thought. What's a thought come from? A belief. You got to believe it first. So let's choose something and create it. Not like, okay, imagine it. It's going to come to me. Nope. Nope. That's separatism. It's something separate from me. It's not separate from you. Know it is done. So when you know it is done, if I told you, okay, what is it, $1 million? All right, it's yours. You'd go, really? That's it? Yeah, it's that simple. But if you go, oh, the $1 million is out there, I know I'm going to get it someday. I'll say, great, you just created, I'm going to get it someday. You could say that's law of attraction. No, it's not. Law of attraction is you thinking it's separate, that you have to get it. The law of creation is that thought is creating it as something I don't have. That's why it works against you. What are you ready to do? You ready to join me? Are you ready to join me? Law of creation, we're getting rid of the old teachings, the old whatever. And by the way, when I say the old teachings, I just mean humans' interpretation of things that they could handle at the time. We're past it. We're past it. We're more advanced now. So we're going to start drawing our own intuition answers. We're going to start drawing all these beautiful things we all have access to. You are all powerful. Nobody's going to save you. Getting mad at somebody because they didn't do what you wanted them to or didn't give you the answer you wanted. You got to work on this, honey. You got to work on it, because guess what? You hold the power, and if you can change anything, and if there's something you want, you have to become that earns it. Earn it. You don't get into my Digital Explorers program just because you just want to make money online or you think somebody's going to hand you anything. Guys, interested? This is a free webinar. Come on over. We're going to talk about taking control. You can do it. You think you have to rely on somebody else. You don't. You create. And if you think you can't, so it is. Law of creation. We're one. You are all that. You just shift into it. You shift in. You ready to do that? Wait till we start talking more about this. Bye-bye, law of attraction. Attract, I will attract. I don't understand why I'm not getting the love of my life. And they're going, I wouldn't even talk to you much, less date you. Yeah, right? Would you? Think about that. You want somebody really cool, right? And somebody comes to you and they're just whiny and insecure. You wouldn't date them. That's how it works. So get busy on this. We're going to talk more about law of creation. We're going to talk about all these subjects. You're going to love what's coming up. All right, so guys, Digital Explorers, we're creating planet conscious businesses. I take people from scratch. We go through a discovery. What does that mean? I help you decide what you're passionate about. We find it, and we say, how does that translate into multiple income streams that helps other people and gives you that purpose? That's a huge part of the training. Nobody's doing that out there. You're supposed to be a coach. Come on, I'll teach you how to be a coach. Okay, what's that going to do? I create multiple income streams with you. I'm a former investment banker. We create intellectual properties. You could actually sell your company someday. We're pulling business smarts in with our caring about our planet and others. I'm not even going to say spiritual. Just functioning on a high level. This is how businesses always should have been created and operate, and we're doing it. We place everything and everyone first, including ourselves. Put on the mask, my friend. When you're going down, if you don't do this, right? You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.